So good morning, everybody. Welcome to the channel, and this is something really different. So I'm sitting out in the front yard. Here we are, 4th of July weekend. So, just really getting into the summer season here in Prescott, Arizona. A lot of events and things are going on in and around town, and it's been a good start to the holiday season here. The world's oldest rodeo right down the road from us. They had some of their rodeo stuff last night. We were hearing it over the PAs and a lot of fun. So why are we out here in the front yard? What are we doing? Well, I want to talk to you about an unboxing that we're going to be doing momentarily. So last week I placed an order for some new capital equipment, and it wasn't supposed to be here till next week. Well, lo and behold, yesterday afternoon the FedEx truck pulled up with a nice big box. Let's grab the box here, and boom, there we go. So I'm going to set this to the side, and I've already opened it, by the way. This isn't your standard type of unboxing that we're doing here today. I wanted to talk to you about the new equipment that I got, and also about my belief in where the drone industry is going. So we're going to start out with where the drone industry is going, and then we're going to take a look at what came in FedEx yesterday. So all right, everybody, all over the internet, we've had a lot of people worrying about remote ID and the issues that it can bring up for our drone businesses or for our recreation. And I know that remote ID is concerning, but I also know that it's not going to be the end of drone flight commercially or recreationally. We're going to need to see how these things shake out. And I wanted to, put a foot forward here and say, I still believe that I can build a great business doing drone work for my clients and for the students that I have on Teachable and Udemy. And with that in mind, we've been talking about it for quite a while. I don't just rush out and buy new capital equipment. I don't buy the newest thing the same day it's released. I like to study it. I like to find out what it's going to do for me in my business, and I like to find out what things it can't do for me in my business. So for many months now, I have just been working with what we have, and that's always a good thing to do too. Don't scrap your older drone just because a new drone came out. Make sure the features first, make sure that this drone is going to do everything that you need it to. And if it can't do that, then what drones do you need together to get a job site done for yourself? So I'd been sitting on the fence for quite some time about any of the new Mavic 3s. I was very concerned about the SDK, the software developers kit, and whether or not some of the apps that I use would be supported by some of these new Mavic drones. And it turns out that some of the new drones are not going to work with the third-party apps that I like. And with that in mind, I kept waiting and waiting, and finally, the Mavic 3 Enterprise came out, and it's been a while, so I am late to this party. But that box that you just saw before contained this carrying case. Now, this inside here is the Mavic 3 Enterprise. This was not cheap. My Mavic 2 Pros were much cheaper. My Phantom 4 Pro was much cheaper. And, they do a lot of the work that I need them to do. But as we're gearing up here at AZ Drone and we're getting new contracts, and we're getting some interesting new requests, I decided it was time to go ahead and get the Mavic 3 Enterprise. Now, I'm going to do a longer series on this. I'm going to do one for my Teachable classes, but we're also going to do a series here on YouTube so that you can get a feel for things. Because as I have been doing my research on YouTube, I found that some of the tutorials and things aren't covering all of the questions that I have. So as I'm going through and watching other videos, and it's no slight on anyone else's videos, we all have the things we're interested in. So other folks are interested in the thermal, the Mavic 3 thermal, and other folks are interested in the Waypoint missions that come with the Mavic 3 Enterprise. And other people like myself are looking to see what third-party apps we get to use, and if we can carry over our standard workflow, because my workflow is very important to managing my time and my flights for my clients. So I've got a very specific workflow that I do, and I might have to moderate and change that just a little bit. So we're going to take things inside afterward, and then we'll go through what came in the case and the mistakes that I've already made. So yesterday I opened it up. I didn't go crazy looking through all of it. So we're still going to be looking at a brand new, not set up Mavic 3 Enterprise. So I hope you find this one interesting. We're going to jump over and we'll take a look at the things that came in it and the one thing that's missing from it that I didn't think I really needed, but I'll be placing an order later today for one more minor component that shouldn't be a big deal. All right, everybody, so here we are back indoors and we're couching it right now. Now, right here, we have the DJI Mavic 3 Enterprise case. And number one, I have to say, love the fact that you guys gave me a case for this thing. So I've been buying Pelican cases and other cases over the years for my drones and my cameras and things. And you know, it's always a pain when you gotta lay down a couple $100 more for a decent carrying case for your drone. So I really appreciate the fact that this is finally coming with its own case. Now we're going to open this up and we'll get a final shot on the table. So I don't have a big wide table where we can do a C-stand and shoot straight down on. We don't have that here. So we're going to pull each of these things out and then we'll get a shot done down when we're ready to go. By the way, just want to let you see. So not all of the slots in here, not all the slots that are in the case have things in them. So I've got room for additional batteries, and yeah, I've got room for a lot of additional batteries. Also the RTK unit, if and when we get that, and everything fits right in here. So really well thought out. This made me feel a lot better when I opened up the box yesterday and saw that everything already had its place in the case. So with that said, let's take a look. First thing we're going to do is pull out the new remote. So this is the first time that I've got a remote that has a built-in screen and is operating on, I guess, a hybrid of the Android system. This thing is quite substantial. It's definitely heavy, a lot heavier than any of my other controllers that we've got. Now, as I pull these things out, I'll also note to you, if I have any instructions or anything. And right here, right now, on the screen, there's a peel away tab. And it says, before the first use, the remote controller's internal battery must be activated by charging. So we're going to have to put this on charge to get this thing woken up, basically. So you're going to connect it to the charger and to a power outlet, and the battery LEDs will flash to indicate that the internal battery has been activated. And then we're going to press and then hold, let me see here, press and then long press, so our standard DJI click, click, and that will get the controller up. So before I do that, we'll get this charged, and then we'll take a look through how to do the setup. So that's most likely going to be in another video. My understanding is that this has screen recording built in, which is going to be great for tutorials. So I'm just going to set this over on the table that's in front of us. And of course, the next big thing that we're going to look at is the drone. By the way, I love these little packaging items that keep things from shifting around. So definitely a plus. So let's pull this out. And this is very tight, actually, for the drone slot, so it will not be bouncing around. Here we go. Here's the Mavic 3 Enterprise. And so you can see here, fold out the arms just like anything else in the Mavic series. And all right, so there's the full drone, and there's our gimbal and gimbal cover. I did play with the gimbal cover last night, just taking a look at this, and I gotta say, DJI, I hate your gimbal covers. I've hated them all, and I continue hating the gimbal covers. If you do a little bit better of a job, that'd be great, but that's my one small gripe. So also, battery in the back here, and we have a flip away panel that has the micro SD card, and it also has a USB-C connector, and this is one way that you can charge your batteries. There's the mistake that I made. I did not get the extra battery charger. I thought it would still come with a smaller battery charger and not require me to charge in the drone. I don't like the concept of charging in the drone, but we'll be placing an order for that battery charger, and we did get a second battery. We didn't do the Fly More combo thing with them this time. Right now we're starting out with 2 batteries. We're going to see about that battery life, and we're just going to be doing some setups and practicing. So this is not going to be out in the field with us next week when we do our Saturday and Sunday flights next weekend. We're still going to use the equipment that we've always used, and we're going to migrate to this over time so that I can do the videos, and also, so that you can follow along with it, but so that I get really familiar with this drone, because this was a chunk of change to lay down, I'll tell you what. Here is the new smart batteries. So that is battery number 2 that I ordered along. And we've got slots for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 battery slots, additional ones in here. The one other thing that I did notice was the battery comes out pretty easily. And by comparison to, let's say, my DJI Avata, which really locks in there, I'm a little concerned. And so here's the battery once more, and we've got some side buttons. This pops out and slides out really easily, so I hope that it's locked in there tight. And until we get some testing done, we're not going to be sure. So in addition to that, we've got our USB-C cable, or I'm sorry, power pack. So this can plug into the drone to charge the battery, or this could also plug in to that extra battery charger that we're going to be ordering in. So I'm just going to pop this one back down here. So they do have our standard AC plug to put into the wall. And then what's really neat down here, I just lifted one of the pieces out. Now, number 1, silicone gel. Hey, thanks guys, I really needed that. But below this, in the case, are the instructions and the props. And we've got a little Allen key here, and then we've got a big package of stuff that I probably won't be able to read, so it's probably going to be lots of English only, and then other languages as well. So we'll go through this morning, not on camera, but we'll go through this and see everything that we have and we don't have. So that is the basic package, and like I said, what I really like about this, they've really customized it for this drone. Everything fits nice and tight, so I've been pretty excited about that. I'm going to flash up an image for you of the whole packed up kit, and that's going to basically end it for this one. My next steps are going to be very simple. I'm going to put that controller on charge. I'm going to read through the documentation, and after reading through the documentation, we'll see about charging our batteries and then syncing up the controller with the drone. We will not be doing any test flights here. We don't do test flights where we're located because we're in Class E2 airspace. So when we're ready to actually do the flight testing, we'll be going to one of our favorite locations to fly this. So most likely somewhere in the Granite Dells, or maybe at Watson Lakes Park's really big green area, and just get some minor flight testing in. So all of that's going to be happening this week. So make sure to like and subscribe on channel here so that you can follow along with this entire process of us integrating the DJI Mavic 3 Enterprise with our current workflow process and the drones that we already have in our little stable of drones.